So, welcome everybody to tonight's installation of the State of the Dodgers, brought to you by LA Dodger Report. I'm Oscar. My partner Scott's not here with us tonight, but we'll try to get along without him. Uh, the last time that we got together and spoke, the Dodgers were a 500 club. Even number of wins, even number of losses. Well, since then, they've just completed a homestand that leaves them at 500 once again. And the Dodgers are now solidly cemented into third place in the National League West. Is this the team that we were expecting when the season began? No way. Of course not. Certainly not me. I was expecting gangbusters in Dodger Blue all the way to the World Series. But as you can see, we've got a real mishmash and a little bit of a mess of a season so far. I'm not pulling the panic button yet, but I am saying 500 doesn't win a division, and third place doesn't make it to the World Series. So something certainly is going to have to change with those guys. What's causing this? Well, mediocre pitching, and as Scott reminded us in his predictions before the season, injuries. We're losing people, and the platoons are killing us as well. We've lost Logan Forsythe, we've lost Rich Hill, we've lost Franklin Gutierrez. It goes on and on. As a matter of fact, last night the Dodgers called up Chris Taylor and Brett Eibner. They got to play last night. Speaking of injuries and of lousy platooning, Eibner got the start in center field in place of Jock Peterson because I don't know why, because they think Jock can't hit left-handed pitching. So Eibner gets the start, and how did he do against left-handed pitching? 2 strikeouts, and he got played by a fly ball in center field. Now, at the very least, Jock could have done that, and he probably would have done much better. Enough with not letting our regulars play. Am I right? You know, lots of us feel this way. Now, on the other hand, there is a little bit of an argument to be made for platooning working out, because my hero, since the last time we spoke, my hero is Quique Enrique Hernandez, El Banana, the Banana Kid. Yeah, Mr. Amarillo. Whatever you want to call him, he's starting to come up big. And more importantly, even though he's only batting 250, more importantly, Kike is starting to step up in clutch situations. And he's starting to come through big when the chips are on the table and we need a hit. And if there's anything that's been hurting the Dodgers, as we asked earlier about, well, why is this club at 500? Well, the club doesn't hit with guys in scoring position. Who has been swinging a hot bat recently with guys in scoring position? You got it. The Banana Kid. Kike. Last night he came through with a double instead of a double play, which would have killed everything. He came through with a double. He scored Kershaw to break the tie last night, and so it's starting to look like the old Banana is back. Now, he's going to force the hand of Roberts if he stays red hot and he's going to force himself into that lineup, which wouldn't be a bad thing. As a matter of fact, I wish the Dodgers had 20 guys that are forcing the manager's hand to make them be in the lineup. But we haven't got 20 of those, but Kike is becoming one of those. And so we're going to get a bit of a break, even though Logan Forsythe is out with a broken toe. He's on the DL. We expect him to be out for maybe 2 weeks. But with Logan out for 2 weeks, it looks like Kike is stepping in and getting hot at exactly the right time. So that's good news for the Dodgers. Now, Kike is my hero. Who's the GOAT? Our general manager, Farhan Zaidi. For signing these guys that are injury prone, not Forsythe, heck, anybody can get hit on the foot, right? Am I right? Anybody can get hit in the foot and break a toe. I'm talking about 2 reasons why Zaidi is the GOAT for this report. One is for signing Rich Hill. Wait for the rest of the sentence. I'm a fan of Hill. I love Rich Hill. I'm a southpaw, and I love that guy's curve when he's on. Problem is, he's rarely on the mound. He's got the blister problem once again, and he's sitting once again. He's on the DL once again. And here's why Zaidi gets to be my GOAT. For signing Rich Hill to $48 million. We've got ourselves a $48 million relief pitcher if we're lucky when he comes back. Hoorah for that. $48 million. When Rich Hill's got that blister on his hand, he's not worth 48 cents. So that's my GOAT. And also, in my belief that he's the man behind forcing these platooning decisions. I really think he's forcing Dave Roberts' hand on this because I'm pretty sure Roberts is a smart enough manager to play the hot bats and to give his guys enough due at bats to prove whether they can hit left-handers or not, and to also give them the ability to get better. One guy that Roberts has been showing confidence in and trust in is Scott Van Slyke, who I've been referring to up until yesterday. I've been referring to Van Slyke as Scott Van Slug, Scott Van Waste of Time, Scott Van Lucky to be on the team, and so on. I wasn't a fan, but Van Slyke came up big with a home run yesterday. So, for now, he's Scott Van Slugger. And I'll get right behind him and hope that he remains hot as well. If the Dodgers are going to be ridiculous enough to insist on platoons, let's hope that the players they stick in there are going to be good enough to make us all happy. So, that's where we're at with the Dodgers at this point. Coming up next for them, road trip. They'll be in Arizona, and then they'll be playing the bleep, 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 bleep San Francisco bleep Giants. All right, so look for those series coming up. Now, before we close out, I want to share a little something with you. I want to share 2 little somethings with you. Unfortunately, this little something I can't quite give to you through the camera, but part of what we're doing with LA Dodger Report, as you may remember from last time we got together, is we're going to be reviewing beers as well. You know, we're going to be sampling beers and letting you know what we're enjoying, and you may well want to enjoy them yourself. Am I right? So tonight's sampler, it comes from Green Flash Brewing. Fearless 50. Why is it Fearless 50? It's because it is Green Flash is partnered up with Trader Joe's, and they're celebrating Trader Joe's 50th anniversary. All right, so that's why it's the Fearless 50. This is a Saison style ale brewed with rose hips. Rose hips and sweet orange peel. Let's give this a taste, shall we? Here we go. Let's try this out. Bloop, 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 bloop. Check the color. Golden, we'll call it, for a golden 50th anniversary. Smells like beer. I can definitely taste that orange in there. Nice work, Green Flash. This is a good summer beer right here. It's got that orange definitely wrapping around the tongue in there, hanging around with a nice little, very fresh and clean aftertaste. Liking this beer. Right on. Fearless 50 from Green Flash and Trader Joe's. I'll give it 3.5 Chavez Ravines. Now, the one last thing that I want to share with you tonight before we say goodnight. This baby. Last Saturday night, the Dodgers celebrated Jackie Robinson Day. And everybody who went out to the game got one of these Jackie Robinson statues. So check it out. I wanted to bring it out for you to have a look. Not everybody was able to be at the game, and not everybody was able to get one. But these are pretty sweet. And I've got to tell you, the statue itself is impressive. It's Dodger Stadium's first statue. Plenty of other stadiums around the major leagues have had statues for quite a long time. The Dodgers finally put up their first, and I'm very glad that it was my Dodger hero, Jackie Robinson, and I'm super glad that he's in the pose of stealing home. I love it. So there's Jackie. And one more bit about Jackie and the statue. Check out LA Dodger Report, and you can read an interview that I had with the sculptor. Oh boy, I wish I had put his name in my notes. Henley Cadet, I believe. I do remember for sure his last name is Cadet. Mr. Cadet, please forgive me for not remembering your first name. Bradley, I believe. Bradley Cadet. But I want to thank you very much for your gracious interview. It was a little difficult to get Mr. Cadet because there was just a unending line of Dodger fans that all wanted to take pictures with the sculptor. One more picture, one more picture. It was during the ball game. I'm sure he wanted to get inside the stadium and enjoy the rest of the game. As much as he loved all the fans, he couldn't really snap 30,000 photos with everybody. So he was pressed for time. I wanted to run back into the stadium myself and catch the rest of the game. And I'm very glad that Mr. Cadet was gracious enough to spend a couple of minutes with me and LA Dodger Report and give us some insights on how he was selected to be the sculptor and his thoughts on the pose, what Jackie Robinson meant to him, and what his creative process thinking was. So, thanks for joining me, everybody. I appreciate you watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all those other things. Feel free to comment. Not too much hatred. And we'll see you next time. And Scott should be back. So, see you later from LA Dodger Report.